Hey y'all, hey.
Hey y'all, hey.
It's Lady D.
And Lady T. And welcome to
Soul Sisters.
Yeah, so I want you guys to know that we just realized that we've been asking you guys to comment, leave messages, make suggestions, and you have not been able to do so. That's probably going to be too loud. You have not been able to do so. So we want you to know that we figured out how to turn the comments on, so please talk back to us. We want to share. We want you to hear these two, because between the two of us, we have 140 years worth of experience. So we've lived 104 years on this planet, so we know a lot of stuff. Yeah, so tonight we're going to talk about...
And that's together, because I'm not 104.
I'm sure they know. They done sent you before. Oh, that was the other thing we're going to talk about. Yeah, so at some point, we're trying to decide whether we want to be seen or we just want to be heard. So we're probably going to do a little bit of both. We know in the beginning, like you'll see our original videos, we were posting ourselves and then we kind of got away from it. But we're ready to come back. We're ready to be consistent. Anywho, so tonight we're talking about the joke that stings. Okay? What I mean by that is when someone tells a funny at your expense, but there's some truth to it, and even if it's their truth, it still kind of stings. So, had a conversation with Teddy, and Teddy made a joke about their childhood and what happened, and feeling as if they had been abused, by someone we know, and I was pretty upset. Yeah. I wasn't surprised. No? Were you?
No.
Yeah. So.
Well, I take that back. I was surprised. I was surprised that Teddy felt that way because I didn't.
And again, it goes back to
their perception.
Yeah, and I was thinking about that today. Because I know we talked about perception versus reality, and I was thinking about that today. Because what I experience and what you experience, we can be at the same place.
Right, and experience something totally different.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And so, but I think the reason why the joke is kind of stinging is because it was a possibility that it could be true. Or the thought that you felt that way.
Yeah.
That you felt unprotected. Maybe that's what I should say. That you felt unprotected. You felt vulnerable, as if I didn't protect you. And so that was a little sting. And the fact that it could possibly be true. But I think sometimes people say things in a joking manner. And I think you should, always take into account most of the time, especially if someone's making a joke about you, if it's a dig, they're coming from a place of truth. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Whether it's their truth or yours.
Where you said that most jokes, there's some truth to the joke.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. If someone says I have large breasts, ha ha ha, well, duh.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like.
Well, and I don't know. I don't know. I'm not surprised because I've experienced that, so and I'm trying to I'm stuttering because I'm trying to think of how I felt, in the moment when it happened, because mine has happened so many times. It's like, how did I feel? I don't know. All I know is that I've always, again, my reality, tried to do my best. Mm-hmm. So when my best wasn't good enough, it wouldn't make me feel a certain kind of way.
Well, I think just thinking back on the time frame, that Teddy was speaking of, and
yeah, mm-hmm.
it took us to have the conversation to put in perspective, where I was in my life and what was going on. And
yeah, that plays a huge role.
And that was huge because
of what you were going through, how old you were, all that.
And that's huge because sometimes we don't take into consideration the timeline of a situation. You know, as I look back over my life and I look at my children, I realize that, you know, I had all my kids by the time I was 20. So the things that I was trying to pour into them, I didn't have.
Right.
You know, so what I have for my grandchildren, I didn't have for my children. I didn't have the substance I needed. Because here's the thing. My mother had me at 16. Wait. She ran away from home at 16. She had me at 17 going on 18. So me and my mother are 18 years apart. But she ran away from home, and so she didn't have nothing to give me. Her mom died doing, you know, so everything I learned from other people. I learned from books. I learned from TV shows. That's why people can't tell me, my mama didn't teach me nothing, so I don't know anything. That's a lie.
Yeah.
You don't know anything because you don't want to. You should be ever learning.
Right. Everything that you do teaches you something.
It should.
Even if it don't show you nothing. But see, people know a lot of negative. Mm-hmm. It's like they pick that up, and a lot of them don't even watch it if it's not negative. You know, like the ratchet TV is what goes down.
I cannot. Listen. Hair and nails and makeup. That's not cheap. They go out of their way to look amazing so somebody can say, do you know what I wouldn't give to have a hair grow out of the scalp on my head? You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. So you're around here, they snatching your hair out. Cause what?
Yeah.
I remember what happened to women being ladies? See, now we right back to the jokeless things. What happened to when women were ladies? Like, I'm not saying you got to put on a skirt down to your ankles. But I am saying, my God.
Yeah.
I mean, there's nothing. Your bra, your panties, you're fighting, you're snatching your wig out. Like, where's your decorum? What is separating the women from the men? Like, that's right. Better be careful because I might get in trouble. But what is separating? You know, what is... And if you choose to be in between, more power to you.
Yeah,
no judgment here. However, if you choose to be one or the other, how am I to distinguish that? And when I say choose, that's because that's what I'm told. It's a choice. So when you choose to be one or the other, what am I supposed to do? But I've never seen a day and age where women are so angry and so aggressive. Oh, now it's going to start me to a rambling. You ready? Mm-hmm. So I'm going to tell you why I think women are angry and aggressive. And I think we talked about this.
You may have.
They're empty.
Yeah.
They are empty. When you say somebody doesn't have any substance.
No substance.
Yeah, they're
other than fighting and bickering and chaos and toxic. And, you know, and a lot of it is, a lot of people are tired because a lot of women are doing it by themselves.
Mm-hmm. And that goes back to that. And that goes back to order. You know what I'm saying? And that goes back to you, even me, having kids, 3 kids by the time I was 20. Like, that's out of order.
It's out of order.
Like, there was nothing I could pour into them because I didn't have anything to pour into them.
Yeah.
Granted, God allowed, and I accept what He allowed, because I couldn't make a baby unless He allowed it to be so. He's the creator. You know, we're just the vehicle. So I get that part, and I understand at 50, almost 52, why I had those children at that age. Because I wouldn't have any kids otherwise. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because of all the health problems that I've had. I wouldn't be, you know what I'm saying? I wouldn't want to have a child at 52 and heart meds and limping. Oh my God, no way.
Yeah.
You know, and that would cancel out a whole generation of people.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But, yeah, those little jokes that people tell, they got the little sting to them, I don't really like those.
Okay, so what I feel like we should do is, we should start with us and be mindful of the little jokes, because I definitely know that I say them. You know, I say little jokes that would sting, and I feel like I have the right to say them because it's the truth, you know. But why would that, you know, that's still not nice. So again, but we've started this podcast for us to have open and honest conversations for people to be able to check themselves. Understand, you know what I'm saying? Just to be a better them.
Introspection, that's what it's called. Yeah, I'm all for reevaluating myself. I'm all for that. Listen, I already lost my entire train of thought.
We're gonna start with us.
Oh, that's right.
And we
So
would ask the audience.
I don't do that.
To,
That's right. I don't make those jokes. I don't like to apologize. Like, when I say I don't like to apologize,
I don't apologize after
if I
say
hurt
it.
somebody's feelings, then I want to apologize. And I don't want to apologize. I mean, I feel like I should because I hurt your feelings.
Oh, well, see, this person does me the same way. So, you know, and it's still not good to do. And I have been working on that my own self, you know?
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, that strained relationship where it's chaotic and it's. I don't want that relationship with anybody. And it's kind of like, you know, we talk about at 52 trying to build new relationships. Is that really something that we want to do? Is that something that we want to do with anybody? You know what I'm saying? Whether it be offspring or cousins or, you know what I'm saying, grandparents. Yeah. Is that something that we want to do at 52? Are we open to new, am I open to new productive relationships? I want to say yes, business wise, but do I really? I don't know. I think that kind of like what you talked about. Now I'm going to ramble on. What we talked about the other day when we were talking about menopause and how it's an eye opener, and you're more sensitive, so you're more aware. It's almost like your discernment is heightened. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like I said, it's like highlighted. Everything is highlighted.
Oh, are you playing?
Like, I don't like that, but I just did that yesterday.
Yeah, and so it's just, and so then you see stuff and you're like, so this is what's been going on? Oh, I don't like that. I don't, you know, and I think sometimes, again, we talked about this, you teach people how to treat you. So if I've let you go for the last 10, 12 years treating me this way, and I suddenly say, I don't like that. Now you're in a state of shock and you need to adjust. Here's the thing. You don't have to adjust. Just know that I'm not dealing with you in that area.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You don't get to treat me like that. So, and I think, again, I try to watch my mouth because my tongue is lethal. Because, again, we speak in facts. So whatever I say to you, especially if I'm just telling you the truth that I know you can't handle, because a lot of times that's what the lashing is. It's the truth. It's the truth that you don't want to address. So now let me tell you, because I've been sitting here holding your truth, trying to... Okay, so now let me shove this spoon down your throat, because you think you got it and you don't.
Yeah, during the menopause stage for me, I mean, even though my ex-husband was kind of doing what he was already doing, like I said, again, it was like it was highlighted.
Yeah.
Like, where I was irritated, or where it really didn't bother me, you know? But in that moment, it started. We have a conversation about it. Like, I don't know. Menopause, in that era of my change for real, I could feel it. I learned a lot, and I'm grateful in that moment. In that moment, a lot of things happened for me, and it happened real fast.
Yeah. And it was just because you were ready. You know what I'm saying? You were ready for the change. So, I mean, we back to rambling. Oh my God.
But that was what I felt so great about, was that in the moment of the cycle, when it was over, I understood what it meant. I understood that because my ex-husband was just doing this a year ago, that this year I was done. And either you're going to be done or we're going to be done.
Right.
And I mean it.
Yeah.
And so I was grateful for the whole cycle that came around, and you know, no bad things to say about my ex-husband. I believe that everything is necessary.
Yeah, and I think, and then when you talk about that just talks about boundaries. You know, we talked about that again. You teach people the way to treat you. The way I allow you to treat me, what I accept is you think, oh, that's okay. However, I still believe people know when they treat me wrong. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they do. But if you're going to let them,
but again, why would you do that?
Right.
Because, again, what do we say? Love don't hurt.
It doesn't.
So why would you do something to hurt me and you love me? That don't go together. Love and pain do not go together. That's like oil and vinegar. They don't mix.
But people think that because of all the hurt from all the people that say they love you.
So at what point do you release the hurt and allow somebody else in? Because at what point, because everybody's not going to hurt you. So at what, because love is vulnerability. Love doesn't hurt, but love requires you to be vulnerable.
And see, I don't hold the stuff. I don't hold on my ex-husband on the next person what my ex-husband done. Now, I will say that I am fully aware, and I now can understand energy. Mm-hmm. Now, if they give me my ex-husband energy, I have not been wrong yet.
No, you haven't.
When they give me his energy, I say, oh, hell no.
Like, he married. He crazy. He a cheater. It's like, what? You married? You got a cheater? Oh, yeah. So far, it's been at least 2 for 2.
So.
Yeah. Sad face. Yeah. I understand the discernment. I understand it being heightened. Sometimes I like to ignore it. This takes me back to now. We right back to talking about the gateway drug and marijuana, and now it's gonna ramble me all off into prophecy and yeah.
Well, we ain't gonna go far because we know and understand that we talking about the joke that stings, the joke that stings, and I have done well, where I almost have gone into the thing of where your mama say, if you don't have anything nice to say, Robin, don't you say anything at all. Well, I am now just kind of quiet.
That's scary. When a Virgo becomes quiet, that's a very
I've already said everything I can say. Once I become quiet, I've already said everything. I don't want to keep talking about that. Because what are we talking about?
Because that's not what we do.
No. Because clearly, again, you're going to keep jumping over my boundary.
So you don't want it. And it's okay.
It's okay.
So this is the...
But I'm one of those people, just tell me you don't like that. Yeah. I'm not going to... And we can just nip it right here. Well, let's move to the next thing. Because we ain't got to add all this fuel to the fire.
Because if I don't like it, if you tell me you don't like me to touch your elbow, I will never, ever, 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 ever.
Right, and it's just out of respect.
I'll never purposely go out of accidentally, and if I accidentally touch your elbow, I will apologize.
Right. So that's another thing too. Be careful, people, because people will treat you in the way that they respect you. Understand that. Please understand that.
Yeah, and so
Could you be kind? What does it say? Friend. Mm-hmm. And grab me a soda.
Girl, you don't need no soda, bro. What was you last night, partner?
No, I think I was partner. Yeah, but again, we're rambling, but we hadn't been here in a while, and we want to be consistent, and we're working on it.
A homie love a friend.
I know it's one colder than homie.
Bro, this is not
bro
the restaurant.
Mike, check bro. Listen, y'all, there's some Coca-Cola drinks with names on them, right, or little.
These are all on the door, so they all gonna be the same code.
No,
sis.
Yeah, I'll be sis.
Well,
sis better be colder than bro.
Homie, that was homie.
Sis better be colder than homie.
Sis is not.
Oh my God, I think so. I don't know.
Sis is not.
Anyway.
So yeah. So check this out, homie lover friends. Yeah, the joke that stings. So I think it's important that I don't want to tell you how to react to things. Like I said, I'm an introspective person, so I am never an instantaneous reactor. If I react to something instantaneous, it is because you have already reached this your last time in my head. So when I snap out because of the one thing that you did that you're like, that was small, that's because that was your last time.
Okay, so this is the thing. You don't want them to, you don't want to tell them how to respond to, a joke that stings.
Right.
But what I will say is that it's a good thing to talk about, because again, you should go within to check that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And look at it.
Absolutely.
Because again, I live in reality. I don't know where anybody else live. And I will tell you that there's a lot of people that I know, they live on Fairy Tale Lane somewhere, and that's just not what I do. I'm too grown for that shit. I waited a long time to get right here. And now that I'm right here, you know what I'm saying, I'm not going to be disrespectful to people.
Right.
I will treat people the way I want to be treated, but I also will treat you if
accordingly.
Again, absolutely. If I'm your mother and you don't show up to me as mother, and you keep showing up to me as Robin, then how else am I supposed to come other than Robin, and you don't know her?
And I'm telling you, I feel like people call for what they want. You know what I'm saying? So if you call me mama, you want your mama. You call me Tiffany, you want Tiffany. Whether that's in your actions, your words, you know what I'm saying? Whatever you're beckoning for.
So that's what we're saying. Be careful and be mindful of that. Because, and if it's a conversation that need to be had, then have the conversation.
I gotta go, Robbie.
So, that kind of stuff don't spill all around,
Yeah.
With
it's like spewing venom on people.
Yeah.
You messed up the thing. Are you supposed to be moving it around?
So, anyway, you guys, we gotta go.
We gotta go. What's tomorrow? Wednesday?
Yeah.
We'll be back tomorrow.
Today is Tuesday.
May 6th, 2025. Oh my Lord. Yesterday was 5/5/25. I didn't hear very many people talking about Cinco de Mayo. But okay, I gotta go.
All right. See you guys later. Peace.
Later, Gators.
We out of here.
Out of here.